Today I'm going to give away a free t-shirt, bring you a Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown fight, bring you comics news, reveal the books I bought this week, and, if I screw up, a blooper reel. How y'all doing? I'm Victor, and you are watching the Comic Hero Show. Now kick that logo! Welcome to this week's edition of the Comic Hero Show. I'm your host, Victor Nunley, and I am the Comic Hero, coming to you from my humble abode. And I know that it's been about 2 weeks since the last time I did an episode, but I've had to deal with a lot of stuff. I'm really not going to get into detail as to what I've been dealing with. I mean, a few of y'all know. And I just want to thank you for your thoughts and your prayers. And then I ended up wanting to bring my camcorder to Louisiana Comic-Con in Lafayette. I did go to Lafayette. I did go to Louisiana Comic-Con. I had a lot of fun. If you don't believe me, I posted pictures on social media. So right after you're done, just go on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or Tumblr and just check them out. I left my camcorder back here when I thought I brought it with me. So sorry I didn't do a Louisiana Comic-Con themed episode like I said I would. Charge that to my head, not to my heart. Well, anyway, it's time to give away a free t-shirt. Alright, in the last episode I asked which deceased recording artist once tried to buy Marvel in the early 90s just so they could start their own movie production of Spider-Man. Now, I gave some easy hints. The first hint, he was born and raised in Gary, Indiana. Second hint, he and his brothers formed a musical group that was one of the most popular groups in Motown and was very important in the history of Motown Records. He wouldn't have had the solo career he did if it weren't for meeting Quincy Jones on the set of The Wiz, in which he starred as the Scarecrow. And the 35th anniversary of his greatest album is this November. And the last hint I gave, he died on June 26, 2009. Well, the correct answer is Michael Jackson. That's right, folks. Michael Jackson once tried to buy Marvel in the 90s just so he could star in Spider-Man. Alright, but anyway, 14 people have answered correctly, and because they've answered correctly, their names have been entered in the drawing for a free tee, and that drawing takes place right now. So, the winner of the free tee for this week's episode of the show is... Hey y'all. Now, like I said before, it has been 2 weeks since the last time I did an episode of the show. And, I bought quite a few books since then, and if you allow me, I want to go ahead and let you know what these are. Now, because there's quite a few of them. Some of them I bought from Books A Million, some I bought from Southern Realms right before I left for Lafayette last Friday, and some of them I bought while I was in Lafayette at Acadiana Comics and Collectibles. I'm not going to give a brief description of these books, I'm just going to let you know what they are. Alright, first up is Back to the Future number 21. Back to the Future number 22. Amazing Spider-Man number 32. Action Comics number 987. Infamous Iron Man number 6. Infamous Iron Man number 7. Avengers number 9. Avengers number 10. Green Lanterns number 29. Spider-Man Deadpool number 15. Weapon X number 2. Weapon X number 3. Black Panther number 12. Black Panther number 13. Black Panther number 14. Titans number 15. Detective Comics number 963. Detective Comics number 964. Flash number 30. Dark Knight's Metal number 2. Secret Empire Omega. Uncanny Avengers number 26. All New Guardians of the Galaxy number 8. Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps number 28. Secret Empire number 10. Deadpool number 30. And finally, Generations, the Phoenix. Alright, now it's 27 I bought, which brings the total number of comics that I bought since December of 1997 to 8,189. Jamie Ross from Monroe, Louisiana. So congratulations, Jamie. You win yourself a free comic hero team. Alright, here's the question for next week's episode. True or false? Stan Lee taught a judo class in the U.S. Army during World War II. Everyone who answers correctly will be entered in a drawing for a free tee in next week's episode of the show. Now, D'Angelo Ballou from Warren, Ohio has requested a Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown fight, and these two feature two characters in Marvel who just can't miss. Representing Marvel, we have Hawkeye. And also representing Marvel, we have Bullseye. These two are going to duke it out in a segment I like to call
The Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown. Welcome to the Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown. Today is Hawkeye versus Bullseye. Hawkeye is a master archer and marksman and an expert tactician and martial artist who uses a variety of trick arrows. Bullseye is an expert martial artist who possesses exceptional physical condition, use of edge-throwing weapons and conventional firearms, a spinal column and various other bones laced with adamantium, and an innate ability to throw virtually any object as a projectile. Who will win? The majority of this fight would feature a bevy of arrows and various weapons. After using up their arsenals of both, the two would resort to martial arts. Bullseye would have the upper hand due to several of his spinal cord and bones laced with adamantium. He tries to end the fight by delivering a clubbing punch to Hawkeye's face, but the latter miraculously rolls out of harm's way. Luckily, Hawkeye can't prepare for this fight. He then uses his long-lost powers he possessed as Goliath, which are superhuman strength and durability and size and mass manipulation. He grows up to 100 feet and pounds Bullseye until he's unconscious. Hawkeye wins, and that concludes this fight on the Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown.
Alright, well, I hope you enjoyed the Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown fight. And if you have a request for future episodes, contact info is down there. Alright then, it's time for Comically Speaking, so without further ado, let's talk comics! Alright, I'm going to talk about two things, and the first thing I'm going to talk about is the ending to Secret Empire. Now, we all thought that Captain America was brainwashed into believing that he was an agent of Hydra. But we found out that there were actually two Captain Americans. We find this out. We're really early on in the book, but we thought it was inside his subconscious mind. We found out it wasn't inside his mind. It was actually inside a fragment of the Cosmic Cube, rather. And Kobik ends up pulling the true Captain America out of that fragment in number 10, and he beats the holy snot out of him. And then this other Captain America, the one that is the so-called Hydra Supreme, had been in prison in a prison where no one with superpowers wants to go. And the sad part is, he's the only character, he's the only person in that prison, and he's awaiting sentence. Now, we also find out in Secret Empire Omega that, you know, Cap was saying that the only reason I'm here is not to kill you, because I would never do that, but to let you know what all the damage you caused while you were masquerading as me. And then meanwhile, we find out that that the Winter Soldier was actually going to stop somebody from committing was actually going to stop a shooting, but they found out it was that the person that was murdered was actually somebody that was some foreign leader who had pretty much aligned himself with Captain America and Hydra. But then all of a sudden a shot rings out and kills him dead on impact. And all the Winter Soldier says, "I know that was you, Natasha." Now keep in mind, Natasha, aka the Black Widow, dies in Secret Empire number 7. Now, is she really dead? Well, before that, I'd have to say absolutely, but after reading that, I thought maybe she didn't die after all. And then just as the Hydra leader, the bad Captain America, gets sent back to his prison cell, one of the guards had said and whispered in his ear, "Hail Hydra." So just when you thought it was over, it's only the beginning. Alright, next thing I want to talk about is this new Marvel series that's well, it's not a series, but more like an epic event, an event that Marvel is coming out with next week called Legacy, where some of Marvel's beloved characters that have been thought who have been gone, or have been thought that to be gone, are coming back. And I found out from my good friend Mandy Hooter from Medford, Oregon, that Jean Grey, the original Jean Grey, is one of them. Now, and she is going to once again be the host for the Phoenix Force. Now, what's to happen? Now, as to what's going to happen to the younger Jean Grey, your guess is as good as mine. Oh, and also thanks to James Leonard from Franklin, Louisiana, also found out that the Fantastic Four finally are coming back to the Marvel Universe. It's going to be a story arc in which the Human Torch and the Thing reunite, because Johnny just can't accept the fact that Reed and Sue, along with their kids Franklin and Valeria and all the other members of the Future Foundation, are really gone. So they go out and they try to look for them. The truth is, they're not dead at all. They're actually building, or should I say, rebuilding the Marvel multiverse. And really pumped about this. Very excited because it's fantastic. Because everyone who knows me knows I love me some Fantastic Four, and that's no lie. So Marvel, finally, you understand. Bravo, Marvel, you're finally getting it. This is finally one irrational decision. This is finally a rational decision y'all have made instead of an irrational decision. So bravo. But you still have a lot of work to do because DC is kicking your butts. Well, in terms of comics, that is. But like I said back in episode 181, if you're part of a company like that, you have to be successful in all divisions. You can't just rely on one division to make up for all the other lackluster divisions. You have to be doing well in all of them. Now DC, on the other hand, hasn't gotten there yet, but it won't be a matter of time before they'll be a major powerhouse. Well, they'll be doing not just well in comics, but also in media. And when I mean media, I mean movies, TV shows, animated series, animated features that go direct to DVD, which by the way, they're also doing well on. They've been doing well with that, I think, for the last 7 years. But they finally want to do well on the big screen in partnership with Warner Brothers. But Marvel, you finally redeemed yourself in terms of comics. Congratulations. But don't stop there. Alright, that's it for Comically Speaking. Now then, let's get to the comics I bought this week.
Comic books I bought this week.
Alright, now I have 10 books, and because I have so many, I'm not going to give a brief description of them. I'm just going to let you know what they are. Alright, first up is Superwoman number 14. The Totally Awesome Hulk number 23. Superman number 31. U.S. Avengers number 10. Green Lanterns number 31. Super Sons number 8. Peter Parker's Spectacular Spider-Man number 4. Justice League number 29. Invincible Iron Man number 11. And finally, Aquaman number 28. Alright, that's 10 I bought, which brings the total number of comics that I bought since December of 1997 to 8,199. Alright, well, I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. Here's a question again for a free tee for next week's episode of the show. True or false? Stan Lee taught a judo class in the U.S. Army during World War II. Everyone who answers correctly will be entered in a drawing for a free tee in next week's episode of the show. And congratulations to Jamie Ross from Monroe, Louisiana, who won a free tee in this week's episode of the show. Alright, it is birthday time here on the Comic Hero Show. Happy birthday. Now, and I'm covering, because it's been 2 weeks since the last time I did an episode, I'm actually covering 2 weeks worth of birthdays. But happy belated birthday Tuesday, September 12th to my friends Josh Love and Katie DeSoto. Happy birthday to my friend that I was in band with last Wednesday, to my friend who I was in band with at Louisiana Tech, Amy Rabb. And happy birthday to my friend Jason Summerhill, and happy birthday to my old marketing teacher Kimberly Beavers. And happy birthday to one of my friends I was in band with at ULM, and also one of my co-founders of Sanchez and the Symbiotes, the assistant band director at Washita Parish High School, Brian Bass. And happy birthday to one of my friends I was in band with. Happy birthday this past Friday to one of my friends that I was in band with at ULM, Bryce Jeremy. And happy birthday this past Saturday to another co-founder of Sanchez and the Symbiosis, someone I was in band with at ULM, and my old roommate, Jesse Kelly. Happy birthday to one of my friends who graduated from high school the same year that I did, Katrina Snyder. Happy birthday to former Miss ULM, Sarah Torregrossa. And happy birthday to one of my relatives, Terry Owens. And happy birthday this past Sunday to one of my classmates from the class of 2000, Anu Patel. And happy birthday to my old orientation leader at Louisiana Tech many years ago, Ross Patrick. And happy birthday to one of my friends that I grew up with in Homer, Louisiana, Nick Green. And happy birthday this past Monday to one of my friends that I went to school with at ULM, Larry Frazier May. And happy birthday this past Tuesday to one of my friends who I was one of my fellow co-workers at my job, Rashonda Long. And happy birthday yesterday to one of my friends that was in my graduating class, Derek Johnson. And happy birthday to one of my friends I was in band with at Bipsy many years ago, Dusty Young. And happy birthday tomorrow to one of my good friends that I was in band with at ULM, Alex McNeely. Happy birthday to one of my friends that I was in band with also in band with at ULM, Sharon Halverson. Sharon Helverson, excuse me, it's Helverson, not Halverson, Helverson. And happy birthday to one of my friends that I went to school with at ULM, Shelby Wright. All right, happy birthday to one of my friends I was in band with at back at Bossier Parish Community College about a decade ago, Daniel Lecomte. Happy birthday to one of my friends I was in band with at ULM, Ian Mathis. Happy birthday to one of my friends I was in band with at Louisiana Tech many years ago, Skylar Clark. And also happy birthday to one of my friends that I was in band with in high school for about a year and was part of the class of 99 from Homer High School, Perm himself, Wayne Smith. And then happy birthday this upcoming Sunday to one of the most amazing moms I've ever met, and also the mouthpiece of Unique Cosmetics, Lindsay Beckton. All right, folks. So glad I'm doing this show again. I mean, 2 weeks. 2 weeks to me feels like 2 years. But you know, when life will. One thing about life, you don't have to let it control you. You control life. And I made the best of it. I mean, sure, I wasn't able to do an episode in 2 weeks. But you know what? It's okay. Just because I wasn't able to do one in 2 weeks, it didn't mean I was going to stop. I didn't do it with the intention of stopping. I just did it, because I just had a few personal things going on, and I thought that was a little more important than a web series. You can't have the Comic Hero show without a host. So I just had to take care of me first. But hopefully next week I'll be back at episode 183. I'll be back at Southern Realms Comics and Games. And yeah. All right, I'm Victor Nunley on the Comic Hero. I'll see you next week for episode 183. Right back at Southern Realms Comics and Games. So until then, be safe, be blessed, be a hero. Hey everyone. Now, I have bought quite a few books from a combination of Books A Million here in Monroe, Southern Realms Comics and Games in Ruston, right before I left for Louisiana Comic Con, and at Acadiana Comics and Collectibles. And because there's quite a few of them, I'm not going to give a brief description of them. I'm just going to let you know what they are. So here we go. First up is Avengers number 9. Green Lanterns number 30. Alright, last week's episode I asked what deceased recording artist once tried to buy Marvel in the early 90s just so they could star in their own movie production of Spider-Man. Now I gave some very easy hints. The first hint I gave was he was from Gary, Indiana, born and raised. He and his brothers formed a group in Motown Records, who was the most blooper reel. Alright, last week's episode I asked which deceased recording artist once tried to buy Marvel in the early Marvel. We can have some Marvel! Blooper reel.